right. Hello. Welcome,
Hey
welcome to
y'all.
another
Hey.
week. Hey, girls. Hey.
Hey.
It's a
Good to
new
see
week, a brand new
everybody.
week. 1 hour
Yeah.
girls talk. Listen, you guys. I know it's three of us tonight. We got Miss Yvette is not here with us tonight. And our girl, Sunny, had a
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Happy
girl.
birthday
Yes.
to you. Yeah. So today is Sunny's
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
She is 26 now. Oh, you growing
Oh,
up. Our
wow.
baby growing up.
A baby girl.
So I hope Sunny is having a wonderful birthday today. And yeah, we here, but we here. We got Miss Sharon, we got Dawn, and we got some topics that we're gonna talk about tonight. This is gonna be our well, actually, Wednesday is the 31st, so I might have wait, no, tomorrow's the 31st. Oh yeah,
Right.
so this is gonna be our last night of
Right.
Women's History Month for the show. Because tomorrow is the last day of March, and that'll end Women's. We're gonna do tonight for that. We got a letter for our sip and spill. I'm sipping on water tonight, but we're gonna sip and spill tonight. We have our new sexy man of the week. And he don't got no shirt on. He don't got no shirt on. What else?
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Let's
Yes, Lord.
see. And I got some new music alert that I want y'all. The new music alert I want y'all to check out. So we got a lot of stuff we want to do tonight. Did y'all want to say anything before we get started in our first topic?
No, let's get it, baby.
Let's dive in. Dive in.
Dive in. All right. So our first topic tonight.
Yvette
Now
say
remember,
hey.
this week, huh?
I said, Yvette say hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
Yvette. Look,
Yvette.
open the chat so I can see. I'm not even looking at chat. Hey, Yvette. So, the first topic for tonight is co-parenting after the relationship failed. So, say you're in a relationship with someone, or married, and you guys have children or a child together. The relationship or marriage doesn't work. You go your separate ways. Now you have a new partner or spouse. They have someone new, and you still have to be parents to this child that you have together. So we wanted to talk about what that looks like. Because a lot of people experience this differently. And from what we're learning, some people don't get to experience this at all. So we're going to talk about that. And kind of, break it down, see where everybody's at. And this is our relationship and dating week. So we got some topics. So with this one here, I'll start. With my so I have 4 kids. Out of my 4 kids, my oldest daughter has her dad, who I did not co-parent with. Okay, so I guess I experienced both. I did not co-parent with her dad, um, for a lot of different reasons. When I say a lot of different reasons, one of those things where I don't even know. So he was one of those people
Lady
that,
Bird.
yeah.
Lady Bird, 1 second. Miss Sharon, can you mute?
Is it me? Okay.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, okay. Okay, so her dad was one of the type of parents that he was just like he was with me. So all three of his oldest are 6 months apart. If that tells you a lot. They're all I know this thing is kind of acting a little funky. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, there were three of us that didn't know it at the same, almost at the same time. And so it was a secretive thing with him. And so when it came to, he knew all of the kids he had, but it was like, I don't want to be seen or caught seen with this kid because somebody gonna know about this kid. It was always this secretive thing. So it was never really a successful co-parenting thing. And then by the time my daughter was 10 and we did try it, because she was 10 and the other kids were also, 10, 11 years old, they weren't comfortable. The kids weren't comfortable because it's like, okay, he wants to be in our lives and do these things, but it became too much for them because the person that he was with began to question them about us, the mothers, and question certain things that you shouldn't be questioning a 10-year-old child. And so it became a thing where the kids were like, I don't even want to go over there anymore. And when they're 10, you can't make a kid do, like, I'm not going to make my 10 or 11-year-old do something I know they don't want to do, especially if it's going to cause them to feel a certain kind of way emotionally. And so that's what I dealt with that. And then, of course, with my twins, because their dad is the one who is the reason why I'm going through my medical things that I go through. He doesn't even, unless he's seen a picture of them, he's never been around them face to face or any of that. So that's never been a thing. Now with my youngest daughter, that's 11, me and her dad were married. We started out not really in a good space because I dealt with emotional and physical abuse from him, and things like that. So I think as we matured and we both got older, I realized okay, I know I ain't gonna be with him, but I want to make sure that he deals with his child. And he realized, man, I messed up. Like this is things that he would say, oh man, I messed up. I this and this and this. And I always made sure, I'm like, listen, I understand we had our situation or whatever we went through. She's his only child. I need to make sure that he has a relationship with his only child. And so I've always made sure that line of communication stayed open, regardless of what I went through with him. Like we getting ready to go on this cruise next week, and she's going to go spend the whole week with her dad and his mom, things like that. So it's like, and that's the part that I like, because I can call his mom and say, hey, how you, like, I could just call his mom and just say, hey, how you doing? Check on her. She called me, check on me. He could text me and just say, hey, everybody good. Him and my husband now, they've met face to face and everything. So it's like everybody's cool. It's no issues, no animosity. And I feel like that's how co-parenting should be. It should be an open line of communication. It shouldn't be, being secretive about things, because when you start to seem like you have secrets, then that's going to make the person you with insecure. Sometimes we want to think that a person we're with is insecure because that's just who they are. No, sometimes we can make a person feel insecure in our actions. So it's like you have to understand the lines of co-parenting. And I think that's what makes it work a lot of times. But like I said, I've experienced both. I've experienced the no co-parenting and the co-parenting. And I can tell you, either one, like the not co-parenting doesn't really bother me. Yeah, I do feel like I'm both parents when it comes to things, because you don't sometimes, I could send her to her dad or her grandma, and but when it comes to the other kids, like the twins, I can't just call their dad or their grandma and say, hey, can you get the kids or something like that. It's me 24/7. So it does help a lot when you have a great co-parenting situation, because it allows both parents to get that break that they probably need depending on how life is going. But what about you guys?
For me, I have to say, let's just be truthfully, brutally honest. I have 3 adult children and they all have separate dads. And I can't say that any of the dads were really in the picture all like that. My middle daughter's father was around for a good portion of her, child, like when she was a kid, but then, that stopped. But there was an issue at one point about, when he got into a committed relationship with somebody, there was that issue there. My oldest daughter, um, like there was no like co-parenting at all, but then because he was away for a long time, and by the time he came out, he had other kids before he went in. But those children, because those moms made it a point to push them, like make sure that they was around his mother and stuff like that. For me, I just kind of sat back. I was always that type of person. Like, I shouldn't have to ask you, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should be reaching out to me, da 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 da. So when the time came that, he and his mom were like, oh, well, we want her to be around, da 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 da. Like you said, they're in their teenage years. The other kid, she's his only daughter besides one other daughter who they're like 2 years apart. There was like a lot of bad feelings there, right? Because now that daughter who thought she was the only daughter, because it wasn't like my daughter was talked about, I guess, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, oh, here's your sister. And they was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I'm daddy's little girl. Now you telling me I'm not daddy's only little girl. So there was never really no co-parenting. But like, one thing about me, like I never talked bad about my children's fathers. They figured out stuff on their own. Now, the only thing I really could talk about, and I said this before we came on, was parenting in a relationship when each person has kids and trying to figure out how to cohabitate that. And that didn't work out well for me and my partner. They saw things that was going on between us that we was trying to like maneuver through and work through, right? So, kids have their own thoughts and processes on things. And so like when we was in a good space, they looking like, yeah, okay. And then, it was like they tried to like play it off and be okay for us. But then there came a point where this big, huge brawl happened. And it was to the point where we couldn't even have them at the house together. So holidays came along and it was like, okay, your kids come over in the morning time, my kids come over in the night, or my kids come over in the morning, your kids come over in the night. And what type of holidays is that? Like, to me, it was just stupid. I was like, this is so stupid. And you can't force your adult kids to be around people that they really just don't care for. And it was on both ends. But now that they're all like really adults, and I've had conversations with all of them because I still talk to my stepchildren, they just like, whatever, it is what it is. I think they see each other and they may speak or whatever, but they just keep it moving. But it's hard either way, right? Trying to have a blended family, trying to co-parent with someone, especially depending on the relationship that you and that person had. You know what I'm saying? If you have a person who was trying to use a kid as a pawn, that's always the hardest. I've had a lot of friends where the kids was used as the pawn, right? Oh, if you don't want to be with me, then you can't see your child. So yeah, parenting in itself is a hot mess. So I'm glad my kids is adults now and I don't have to worry about it. And if and when I ever started dating, if you got babies, don't even look at me. Keep it moving. Because I ain't got time. Miss Sharon?
Well, myself personally, my son, my husband and I started dating like when he was right at 2. So he always told everybody I got 2 daddies and 1 mama. But now his father was in jail a good portion of his life. So he does have another brother who is like maybe 4 or 5 years younger than him. They're close, and I made sure that he went down his father's people's house, so he knows all his people. He's close with all his people. He was very close with his grandmother, who recently passed away, maybe like a year and a half ago, on his father's side. And he knows all of them. They were very, very close. And that just happened to just was a blessing. So he was very close. Of course, he's very close to my mother. But he was close to my father who passed. But they had just a beautiful relationship, and I thank God for that. He and his father don't have sometimes the best relationship, and I feel like that's because they really don't know each other that well, because he was incarcerated, so he would get out, he would go right back, and he would be like, he would have like 9 years, then go back, do 3 4 more years. So he didn't really know the man. And then his father wants to be like a father, it's like, sir, I don't even know you. I love you. I, try to respect you, but you know, my father is a man who I grew up in the home with, who helped raise me along with my mother. I respect you. And then that caused a lot of tension, because he would be like, you got this man calling my son calling this man daddy. I said, no, your son started calling him daddy on his own. I introduced him as a person, and eventually he just started calling him daddy. I never told him what to call him, ever. I said, I introduced him by his name. He started calling him daddy because the man treated him like a son. So he started calling him daddy. Now, maybe you need to talk with yourself about that. I can't assist you with that, how you handle that. But no, I never told him to call him anything but what I introduced him by name, and then he started calling him daddy. I'm so sorry that happened. I said, so now he says, I have 2 daddies and 1 mama. And that's just that on that. And then now my husband had a child when we got together. And she and I always were very close. I bought for one, I bought for all. We had a, pretty good relationship, still have a good relationship. She comes up, if he comes up, she's come up before and brought my little grandson, because her little baby, that's call it my grandson, brought him up. He's come up to the house too. So we're a blended family who gets along pretty good. We've had some hiccups, but not really big hiccups. We just have gotten along pretty good. And then now my husband and I, we have a daughter, and of course, we separated quite some time ago, officially, but officially, unofficially. And but he's done, he's done his part, he's done his part. He's been a pretty good dad. Like I said, we've had some hiccups with that too, because a lot of times when you're the full-time custodial parent, it's a little bit difficult, because once again, they just used to your parenting style. Then when somebody else comes with their parenting style, it's like, okay. So that has caused some confusion, because he's kind of been like, is she crazy? And I'm like, no, she's not crazy, but you're not there all the time. And she's used to the way I do things. So, you can't come up in here Bogart, because she's not going for it. It's just not going to work. She respects you and she loves you, but that's just not going to work. Y'all going to have to talk about that on y'all own. I can't really. But that's just how that goes. And I think sometimes men get angry about that, but then they don't realize they don't necessarily be done quite their part necessarily like they should. And so they kind of feel like you stepping on my toes, or you not giving me the respect I'm supposed to get, or whatever like that. But sometimes respect is earned. It's just kind of an earned type of thing. They know who they can depend on 24/7. They know who gonna break their back for them. They know who work when they can't hardly feel their legs back or nothing else. So you can't. Something like I said, I never ever have talked about either one of the dads to the children, either one. But they're also not blind. They're not blind. They can see. And I tell people all the time, as children age, they come up with their own thought of the parent that's not necessarily around as much. And you can't get mad at me because they are not blind.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Kids are not stupid.
Right.
They not stupid. They think about even like co-parenting as a grandparent. right? Like my son has 2 children, and my one grandson that he has a brother that's older than him. And I immediately was like, okay, I got an extra grandson. So like whenever I Christmas time, birthdays, Easter, all of that, I make sure that I include him because that's my other grandson, right? Now, it don't matter what my son thinks. To me, that's my grandson. I'm never going to pick one child and not get the other
Right.
because they're brothers, right? So he needs to know my other grandkids because they're going to be around each other. And so, even if they're not on good terms, that could cause bumps and bruises in the road. Because if he's mad, he's like, "Oh, put her on mute for a month." You can't tell me what to do with my grandkids or with my other grandchild. That's my grandson. Like today, I had to go get their Easter stuff, and I have 4 baskets. Now, my one grandson, unfortunately, because my son and that baby mother have whatever issues, she's decided to pull her son out of the picture. And I can't fight with that, right? Like if they having their own co-parenting issues. If she's cutting off the family, then that's fine. But whenever she's ready to come back, of course, I'm gonna open my arms. But that is grandparenting on a co-parenting schedule too, right? Like, how do you maneuver through that? Right? And some grandparents don't feel that way, right? That one grandchild is theirs. Or say, for instance, your son or daughter is with somebody, been with somebody for a long time. And they end up, something happens and they have a child outside of that relationship and they break up and then they get back together. If that grandparent decides, well, that's not my grandchild and I don't have to, that can be an issue, right? Because now your daughter is like, no, but that's, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's my child. And as a grandparent, you're like, okay, that's your business. I don't have to, that don't got nothing to do with me. My grandchild is the child you had it. So it's so many different ways that can be read. But I wanted to read really quick. And I'm going to shut up what Miss Yvette Renee said. She said she's so blessed that her ex-husband and her divorced when she was pregnant with her last of her 3 children. And they were able to co-parent and raise those children, and they learned to become friends. It made it so much better raising our kids. He has always been a part of their lives, and they are now 42, 39, 36. And we have 2 grandchildren. His second wife has a daughter by him, which is much younger than my children. And the second wife and I became into this, and they are very good friends. So our children have always been a part of their sister's lives. He now has a third wife, and the fun with her and I have always made both of his children feel like family, and they were both able to be part of their other siblings' lives. Yeah, because at the end of the day, right, like the kids need to know each other no matter what the adults doing. Because, unfortunately, in this day and age in 2026, I was having a conversation with my friend who's on here now. People don't know who their family is. Sadly, my children, I'm not even talking about their father, I'm talking about my family. My children are not connected to their cousins, and my grandchildren are not connected to those grands. So we didn't cut off the generation in 3 swipes. So by the time these grandbabies get older, they don't have no idea who their cousins is. And where that becomes a problem is if the people don't know who their family is and say the parents ain't around no more, accidents can happen. I'm shut up.
I know that for a fact because that my grandmother had 14 kids, right? So my grandmother's side of the family is a large family. Plus she had 14 kids. But then my granddad was the only child. But my grandmother always told all my aunts and uncles and my mom, like, listen, we got a big family, and they no, my grandmother's side of the family is Facings. But they used to always tell everybody, like, listen, you the relatives and you don't know it. And so one of my aunt's daughters start dating this one boy, and my grandma looked at that boy and say, you might want to leave him alone because he looked like he might be one of your relatives. But my cousin, hard head, make a soft ass. and you know, you don't want to listen. So guess what? My grandma kept telling her, she ended up my aunt, it was my aunt, not my aunt daughter. My aunt ended up getting with the boy, getting pregnant, and kind of find out, not a close cousin. It was a nice distance cut, but still, your girl, she done told you, your mama done told you that this was your, possibly your relative, and you ain't want to listen. Yeah, so it does happen. That's what I made sure with my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter, her dad has, I know for what this is, the amount of kids I know for sure he has is about 18 or 19 kids.
Sheesh. Papa was a rolling stone.
And what I did for my oldest daughter was all of the kids that I know of and can document, I wrote their name, first, middle, and last name, and their date of birth on a sheet of paper for her to have. So she would know all of her siblings' names. She knows, like, her two oldest, like this two that's 6 months older than her. She knows them. She knows like a couple that's like right under her. But he's got some that's like 10 and under. So a lot of, you know, so I was like, let me just write these names down so you will have them and you will know, because yeah, that's where he at right now. But yeah, Don, you said something else that made me think, oh, with the co-parenting stuff, like you said, no, if you got new babies, listen, because where I'm at right now, there's a 3-year-old that's in the house that we co-parent with his mom. And that 3-year-old got me on my toes, baby. He got me. I forgot what it was like to have a 3-year-old, and it's a boy. Because you know, all of my kids are girls except my son, and my son has cerebral palsy. So I've never raised a typical boy. And so I'm like, yo, he be on 10 all the time.
And you know what comes into play with that, Renee, is discipline. Because your form of discipline might be different than his form of discipline.
Yeah, and
right?
It is.
So y'all bumping heads. Because see, for me, I'm the type of parent that I'm gonna tap that ass. Oh, excuse me, Jesus. I didn't mean to cuss. Forgive me, Lord. I'm gonna tap that butt. Right? Like I don't play.
Now we both don't spell the rod. We both don't spell the rod. However, it says that I'm a little more strict. Because with me, I feel like kids have to understand the sternness and the seriousness. If you always joking and playing with them, when are they gonna know when you actually being serious? So it's like you got to make sure they understand. Okay, if I'm coming at you in this tone and this manner, this is my serious voice, you know, and things like that. But yeah, it's been very different. And he's opened me up because I'm kind of like reserved. I wasn't really. Growing up, I wasn't hugging and loving all of my parents and stuff like, oh, I love you, hug. No, that wasn't a thing that we did in my household growing up. But when I had kids, I had to embrace the hugs and the love they wanted to give me. But then my kids older and they don't really kind of, you know, they kind of offish now too. And then now here's this 3-year-old that just, Renee, I love you, and he just want to grab me, and I gotta be like, oh, like I'm trying to be a thug. I'm trying to be hard around here. You turning me into a little, you know what I'm saying? You're making me weak around here.
But it balances you out. It balances you out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because that's what my grandkids do. They balance me out, right?
Yeah.
But I will say, with the grandparenting, the co-parenting, the whatever kind of parenting, as you get older, your tolerance changes. I love my grandkids down, but unfortunately at 54, my tolerance level is like this, and I'm trying to work with myself on that because my kids be like, you be tripping. You don't let them do nothing. They got to sit and be quiet. They can't make no noise. I'm like, well, what they screaming for? Well, why do they need to scream? I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, why do they need to jump on my bed? Why do they need to run through my house? They're not even babies no more. They're 8, 9, 10. Listen, I don't understand what y'all need to be screaming for. And no, I don't want to hear all that noise at the end of the day. Like, y'all don't hear my grandson. Y'all don't hear him. He in the room that's theirs. He chilling. He on his tablet. He watching
boy
TV.
scared straight right now.
Listen, and because I will raise my voice. But and this is falling into something totally different. The way that they raising them in these schools, he told my daughter one day, you hurt my feelings. You raised your voice at me. I don't like that. Girl, when she told me that, I almost lost every marble I had, because you could just imagine what I said. Like, what, boy? Do you know the things that were said to me, the tone of voice that I had to go through when I was younger? What is you talking about? You ain't seen nothing.
Right. Oh, and that's another thing. You just made me think of something else with co-parenting. I feel like, my bad, Miss
Oh, I'm sorry. I just was saying that they couldn't have made it through one day in our households growing up. They couldn't have made it.
Nope. But what I thought about with co-parenting was communication. That's something that really has to be looked. When you co-parenting, you got to communicate, because what you do when it comes to kids, what happens in one household has to happen in this other household, because you can't have these rules and okay, bedtime here is this, but then when you go home to the other house, bedtime is this. So now when you come back to this house, you forgot that you got a bedtime and you thinking, oh no, I don't want to know. My mama don't let me or my daddy. No, it is what it is. And I feel like the parents it has to be that communication. All right, so what time we setting for bedtime? What are we allowing? Are we allowing them to go with their friends, especially when they get a certain age? Are we allowing them to go with their friends, go out, do certain things? What we allowing, what we ain't allowing, so that it's universal across all households, and it's an understanding, because that messes a lot. That causes confusion, and it causes arguments and disagreements, and that doesn't make it work. Yeah, Jacqueline said in the comments, separate rules do not work, and they don't. We gotta be on the same page.
Kids play on that too. Let's not forget that.
Listen, let me tell you, this
play on that. If you in different houses with different rules, they'll play on that, baby.
Don, this 3-year-old think he's slick. Let me tell you something. He'll go to daddy and be like, Daddy, can I have some fruit snacks? And he'll say no. So he'll go from the room and come to me, Renee, my dad said I can't have no fruit snacks. Can I have some fruit snacks? First of all, you just told me what your dad said. So I already know he told you no. So now I'm about to no too.
But I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about the separate houses. Like, okay, you say if that was your son and dad lives opposite house. Now he know he can't do certain stuff at dad's house. So now he want to be with you all the time because you the more lenient parent. So now he acting up over here so he can come to you, or vice versa. And kids will use that, right? They know that they can get away with certain stuff, or this parent ain't as strict, or you know what I'm saying? Or if remember you was talking about communication, a parent that don't really divulge all information to the other parent. Like, you did something at my house that was totally out of pocket, where I should have been like wilding out on you, but I didn't, because I'm gonna let it go. But I didn't tell your dad, who should have known what happened. Now that causes a problem.
I agree. Yep. Okay, that's good topic, child. Yes.
Yes,
all right. So, like I said, this is our last mention of Women's History Month, because this is actually our last show in the month of March. When we come back on Wednesday, it's gonna be April 1st, April Fool's Day. I gotta find a prank. It's been a while since I did some April Fool's prank, so I gotta figure something out. You know what I'm saying? I be doing little pranks. Huh? No, I ain't talking about for y'all. I'm talking about just in general. I used to do that to my grandma all the time. And after a while, my grandma realized that it was a prank. And she'd be like, I already know what the day is. I'm like, dang, it don't work no more. But so yeah, so Women's History Month, and what we thought the night that we would do. I wish we had everybody here, man. Um, but what we were gonna do tonight is kind of just talk about ourselves a little bit and the kind of the things we're doing. Don't matter what it is that you got going on, you want to talk about it. Um, that's what we're gonna do tonight. So Don, you want to start, or you want me to start, or you want me to share anything? What we doing?
I mean, I can start. It don't matter.
Yes.
So you know,
radio, Miss
when
Radio host shows.
So when I think about history, right, Women's History Month, and I think about what is my part gonna be like in history? What is it that I would want to talk about for that? So for me, you know, the first thing I will say is my part in women's history is making sure that I'm making my mark on being a community member, an advocate, giving back to the community, doing for my community, right? So when I'm talking about that, for those who don't know, you know, I have a women's organization called Woman to Woman, We Are One. And one of the things we do is collaborate with other organizations to do outreach in the community. And so I give away free underwear, sanitary products, and personal care items to women in a certain area of our city, right? Because, you know, unfortunately, you know, we assume that everybody can buy a brand new pair of underwear when they need them. Everybody can go to the store and buy a pack of sanitary products or get deodorant and all that stuff when they need. Some people financially can't do it, whether they income just ain't there. We know that living is hard, right? You know, and so that's something that I do to give back to the community. And then I have a huge women's event every year where the women come, and we have other women who come and talk about thriving and surviving from certain things, whether it's cancer, HIV, maybe they've been in a domestic violence situation, or the mental health. And they talk about these things because, you know, the more we talk about them, the less stigmatizing they become. And, you know, we eat, and I do free raffles. I give away great raffle, and everything is free. Women get free back massages. But when I think about my place in history, I want history to be able to say that Dawn did everything she could to take care of her community, that I gave back no matter what the cost was, because 99% of the time, the things that I do for the community, whether it's the raffles, the underwear, the sanitary products, all of that stuff usually comes out of my own pocket. Now, not saying that I haven't gotten donations here and there, but the majority of it is out of my pocket. But I don't worry about that because this is my ministry. This is what God has placed in my life. He's given me the things to be able to do it. So in history, I want history to say that Dawn was an advocate. She was an asset to as being a community member. She did what she could for her community. You know, I advocate for housing. You know, I'm in my, oh my goodness, I'm stumbling over my words. I am the tenant council president in my development, and I'm also running to become one of the BMHA board of commissioners to be on the board of the BMHA, which is the city of Buffalo's largest housing development. But, you know, I'm an advocate. You know, no matter what I do, whatever space that I'm in, I would like, if you look at me in women history, and when you look me up, it says advocate and community activist. That's what I want my women in history note to be next to my name, that I gave back and I cared for my community in any way that I could. So that's what I'll say about that.
Okay.
Myself personally, I'm a retired LPN, but I still work. I look at myself as I'm almost like a healer, a community healer. So where I go, if I see any type of need with any person, whether it be something monetary, maybe they need, clothes, maybe they need a word, really just something, anything of that nature. That's just my place. That's just what I do. I even from a girl, I just knew that life was what I could bring life to stuff. I mean, something so small. If you any type of cuts or wounds, or you say, oh, I think this toe is gonna be amputated. Let me work with that toe. I guarantee it's not going to be amputated when I get through with it. So I really just have always just been a person that just had a healing spirit about them. And that has just always been my work. And then I also am a singer. And so I heal with song, and I've always just been a person that just kind of just was brought just like a soothing type of effect over people. And I definitely know that I will be remembered for that in my community, in my family, that's in my work life. Like I said, my work life, my home life, my community. I definitely know I will be remembered as a person who healed many souls, many bodies, and also many souls. I know that will be my legacy.
I know that's right, Miss Sharon. You want me
Yes.
to read it? You want to read it, Lady Bird?
Yeah, I could read it and then I'll go after I read. So we don't have Miss Yvette here, but she's in the chat with us. She got some things going on, so she couldn't just get on video with us tonight. But she here. She here, y'all. She says, my new AI soap opera will drop on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube on April 20th. You can find the trailer on her page. The name of the show is Black Velvet Lies. Oh, that sounds juicy. She said, I'm also a beauty store consultant for those that desire to open Black-owned beauty supply stores. I'm a former beauty supply store owner of seven beauty supplies. 6 were in Southern California and 1 was in Texas. And you can follow her for funny and relatable concepts. Yes, definitely.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. Girl, we know you over there chewing, trying to cover your mouth. Look,
Why
you
trying to
still
put
this
somebody
shit.
on blast?
Oh, girl, we can't wait, girl. Go ahead and chew that sandwich. But I can't wait. I'm gonna have Miss Yvette, you have to show me how to make a little AI thing, because I can't never figure that stuff out. I'll be around here looking crazy. I can't figure it out. So we definitely gonna have to have I'm gonna have to book a consultation with Miss Yvette, honey, because she be on it with all these graphics and different things. But I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see this
Yes, I'm
this soap
excited.
opera. Man, it sounds juicy. Black Velvet Lies. All right. So for me, for Women's History Month, I think the history that I'm leaving, I mean, obviously it's my advocacy stuff. I wish I could leave this dog behind. Look, who want a dog? Jesus. You hear barking at me? She want to hump me. Can we leave the humping in the past? Can we do that? Um, but no, my advocacy, my books, that's why people always, I never really mentioned, I've written 3 books and published them, and I never really talk about them. Donna fussed at me about it before, and I always try to tell people, like, I know I wrote these books, but I honestly really didn't write them for the gain of money or anything like that. I really wrote them because I wanted to leave a part of history. I wanted to leave something where when my part of history and my story is told, that it's there in the books from me. Nobody else is telling my story but me. And that was the main purpose of me doing that, to leave that there. And so I want to have that, that's a part of the history for me. And then listen, just when I get to this point of being Dr. Lady Bird, then the rest definitely gonna be history, okay? Because that is the goal. That is what I'm striving for. Oh Lord, dog. I start OSU in the fall. And so get her. I start OSU in the fall, and so that's gonna continue my journey to becoming an infectious disease physician. That's what I want to do, because that's a passion of mine. Donna tell you, I done made many posts on Facebook and said, man, I'm not gonna be an advocate no more. I'm done. And every time I make a post and I say I'm done, I turn right back around and I'm still here, because people still need me. They still want to talk. They still have questions. And it's girl, hold on. about to be a parent. You know how them parents just disappear and vanish? That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to vanish. This girl just said, Mom, I'm hungry. She ate 2 plates of spaghetti. You hungry?
She said, you
Jesus,
heard what I
take the
said. I'm
wheel.
hungry.
Right. And then this thing here, child. See, that's why I was like, you know what? However the lie go, it go. Cause
But you know
yeah,
the crazy thing is, your books
Uh-huh.
will be your legacy. They will be. People will be able to know you long after you're gone because you did leave a part of yourself,
Right.
right? Like when I think about, I may not have wrote books, but these shows that we do, they're gonna be there forever. They're never gonna
Yeah.
disappear. You know,
Yeah.
anything we've done on social media will be there forever. It will never disappear. So this is our way
Exactly.
of leaving our legacy. And we all, you know, everybody in the chat, you all have made a place in history somehow, right? Everybody doesn't have to be on CNN, you know, winning a Nobel Peace Prize to play a part in history. We all leave some sort of legacy, an imprint in the hand of time. We all have our own ministry, whether we know it or not. You know, whatever your passion is, whatever it is that you care a lot about, that is the ministry that God has placed on you. So, you know, I want everybody to know that, yes, we're talking about ours, but you all here on this live have your own history, place in history, right? And all I say is just continue to enhance it. Just enhance it.
Yes, I agree. All right, let's keep it moving. While I got some silence in my background. So celebrity gossip news. Oh, I got some stuff to talk
Jesus,
about.
Oh,
All right, first,
we're
gonna talk about Chili. Cause girl, what Chili? I don't know, girl. I don't know. So check that she did not mean to post a conspiracy theory that involved Trump
mute.
and Michelle Obama. Huh?
No, I was telling Miss Sharon
And
to mute because I couldn't hear you.
and she said that she is not MAGA. She's not MAGA, and she's asking for grace because now she's getting backlash. Now I have definitely been on social media a long time. When I say a long time, I'm talking about I used to be on Yahoo and AOL chat, okay? And I know for a fact that when you hit the share button for things, there's multiple steps to it before it posts, okay? You don't just hit share and it just go. No, even like on X, you go on Twitter/X, you hit the little repost, it's going to ask you a question. Do you want to repost it with a caption or not? It asks you things. Even on Facebook, when I hit share, it's not just share it. It's going to ask me, it's going to give me the option to put a caption before I hit post. So even on Instagram, so it's like, girl, what? I don't know, but hey, she's saying that she not mad that she didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Don't be marketing me. It was an accident and all this stuff. She said she does not align with MAGA's ideology, nor does she support any policies rooted in harm or division. And let's see, what else does it say? Yeah, that's crazy though. And she said she's not very computer savvy. Girl, you're not computer savvy, but your boyfriend that's about 30 years younger than you is very computer savvy.
You know, this is the same old story.
12 years younger than her. But first of all, look at all the accounts she followed. She followed all the MAGA accounts. She is MAGA. First of all, remember when we had Black Lives Matter, when they was killing black men and women, dropping them like flies? she was screaming all lives matter. And we know what the all lives matter mantra is when people say that. So she definitely is MAGA. And I would actually respect her more if she stood on it flat footed and said, hey, I'm MAGA. Now y'all can get these tickets or not. But I'm not going to switch up for y'all, switch up my ideology for y'all. This is what I think. I align more with the evangelical Christian base, even though I know a lot of people say that's, white people are whitewashed or whatever. That's what I align with. And, buy those tickets or not, but that's just me. Now, honestly, I could respect her more. When somebody stand flat-footed on what they stand for and their principles, and you can take it or leave it, I'm like that. I'm a take it. I'm a person that you can give it to me straight, no chaser. But for her to sit up there and tell them flat-footed lies, when we literally know they flat-footed lies, lady, you are MAGA. That right there, I would. Let me tell you something. I told everybody I know, y'all better treat it like Target and Walmart. Y'all better not be sitting up in that concert. Y'all better not be. Don't give her a dime. Not one red nickel. Now that's how I feel on that.
Yeah, I believe that she is, and it's the same old thing. When they get caught, now they want to back trip, dribble backwards and give me grace, and I didn't mean it, and I didn't know that that's shared. And come on now, just stop it. And like you said, I could have respected her more too if she said that's just my beliefs. It is what it is. Right? Like, this is just what I believe, I'm just who I am. But to try to act like that's not who she is, that's not, like they posted all these things, like you said, Ms. Sharon, where she was commenting on all of these, MAGA pages for what they were saying and everything. And now that you got caught, people was actually investigating it. Because here's the thing, wasn't nobody thinking about Chili. So she was under the radar. Wasn't nobody thinking about her, girl. You ain't even important. Nobody's thinking about you. But now y'all done went on concerts, so now people is digging. I mean, it is what it is. Now people just started digging because that's what they do. The internet will dig and find some stuff. And then the messed up part is here go the lady from Salt and Pepper throwing herself in the mix. Girl, shut up before they get you too. Just you should have just shut up and mind your business. People always got a problem trying to jump into something. But yeah, I believe she is exactly who she's saying she's not. She got caught, and now she's trying to make it right because people wasn't buying them tickets probably, and there was probably a nosedive in ticket sales. And it's probably going to continue to be a nosedive in ticket sales because of her. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Your past will come back to bite you. When you think you're doing something and think don't nobody see, it's always somebody that's going to find out. And like you said, Ms. Sharon, it's always just better to just stand on what you is and what you do. It makes me think about when I was years ago, when I was actively using drugs, I stood on this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Even with my diagnosis, when somebody thought they was throwing it in my face. Okay. You're saying that, and that means what? I've said things that probably wasn't the best to say, but I'm the type of person is, I said it. You either can forgive me or not, but it is what it is. I can't change it. So yeah, good luck, Chili.
Yeah, and I'm reading here where it said that federal donation records showed that she donated nearly $900 to WIN, which is the WIN Red, the Trump National Committee, JFC, and Never Surrender Incorporated in 2024. She said she did not read the fine print and added that the causes matter to her because her father was a veteran and she. So So because your father was a veteran, you donated to Trump's National Committee? Like, who does that? Okay, and you hear these children, child.
Yeah,
Also,
she got a phone.
child. Another thing I wanted to talk about was being is women in history. Ending. There's a couple black women in sports that have done some amazing things this week too. So we have Flaw Johnson signed off on her LSU career in style by dropping 24 points in which in what ESPN called her final home game. As the Tigers they beat Texas State and advanced to the Sweet 16. So if you watch basketball, you know this is kind of huge. Yeah, that's amazing. She gonna do good, man. I cannot wait to see her in the WNBA. And then we have I ain't talking about no mix. Yeah.
I'm not a sports person. So I'm not a sports person, so I don't really know about who you're talking about. I don't know no women in sports because I don't follow none of that stuff. But yay for her. I'm down for whoever she is. I wish her the luck, but I don't know nothing about no sports. But I'm glad she's doing well. Miss Sharon, you know who the lady is?
Yeah, and then you say who?
I was asking Miss Sharon. I didn't hear that
last.
Who she was? No, I was asking Miss
Sharon.
Yeah,
did you know?
I watch all the sports and keep up with them. Yeah. Flau'jae raps too, honey. She do it all. So yeah, I know.
Her dad was a rapper. Her dad was a rapper too. And then we got Angel Reese, who landed the April 2026 cover of Vogue Australia. Vogue Australia site and the magazine's Instagram page confirmed the cover. And her with Reese giving model energy and signature sneaker moments that only she could pull off. So that cover looked nice too, baby. I should have grabbed it. But go and look. All you gotta do is go and Google Vogue Australia, and baby, she's serving. Okay, ignore Michelle in the
beautiful girl in the
background. Everybody, she gonna be. She is. She's gorgeous. And then lastly, Simone Biles opened her first restaurant called Taste of Gold inside of
I saw that in the airport,
Intercontinental Airport. So if you end up going through IHA, make sure you go and look for her restaurant. Man, they
why
say
she
it's
had to open it in the airport though? Why she had to open it in the airport? It's gonna be high as ever.
And the airport
is so high.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they said her menu is gonna have salads. Her menu's got salads, sandwiches, shareables, and desserts, giving travelers a little bright spot in the middle of an airport chaos. Yeah, and it's gonna break your pockets.
Break it off.
Yes, and then the last celebrity news I want about was Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. So the divorce is final. And what the headlines is saying is the lump sum sealed the deal. So after back and forth, months of back and forth, they reached an agreement. So they got married in 2014, and in last year in 2025 is when they decided to split. They have two children together. There's going to be no spousal support or child support for either side, which shoot, that sounds like a win right there. However, Kandi is going to have to give Todd $426,000 lump sum to balance the scales, and the two will split credit card points down the middle and plan to sell off a shared food truck. Now, they also, let's see. Oh, he also was given, let me see. Burris is keeping her 2022 Bentley SUV, Cadillac Escalade, Ford F-250, Porsche Cayenne, and a vintage 1963 Camaro. But Todd is taking a 2020 Mercedes G-Wagon, 2020 Porsche 911, 2023 Range Rover, the 1973 Ford Bronco, and a 1963 Lincoln, and a Ford Transit van. So first of all, why y'all got all these cars anyway? You can't drive but one car at a time. Why y'all got all these?
Well,
They had nothing else to do with their
I
money.
just
he was a car collector.
named about 20
He
cars.
ain't gonna. I feel like after a few years, that man ain't gonna have all them cars. He ain't gonna have all them cars. That's what he got right now. But he not gonna have all them cars. But he always pride himself on saying he was a car collector.
Yeah. And then so the real estate details were blacked out, but they said that Todd is reportedly leaving Kandi with the Atlanta guest house. He's leaving the Atlanta guest house within 15 days. And if y'all don't recall, Kandi was saying he was a squatter. Cause I guess she been told him to leave and he wouldn't leave, so she was calling him a squatter. But he fired back and was like, "No, I'm over here because you kicked me out the house, the main house that they had. She had put him out the house." So yeah, but I'm glad they got it settled. Listen, I want to be a fly on the wall to hear all of Kandi mama conversations, because I know her mama is, listen, because if y'all don't know about Kandi mama, that lady did not like Todd from day one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said he just wants your money. She couldn't stand Todd. It was a mess from the beginning. And I hate to say it, but I almost kind of feel like he did I feel like he probably did initially get with her with ill intentions. Maybe after a while, it probably was some realness in it. But because granted, the kids came into the picture too. But I still feel like, yeah, all he wanted was her money from the beginning. Because, sir, you was a damn cameraman on the show. You was a cameraman. And what the hell was she thinking? Kandi?
I think even before they had their daughter, I think because when he brought up the prenup, he was adamant about that prenup. I think that's when it got to the point where he really cared about her. I believe, like you said in the beginning, it was like, oh, I might got me a free ride right here. But then I think he started caring about her. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, your real feelings end up coming out. So I think he started caring for her, but it started out on a bad intention. And then after time, he's seen that, okay, I done did this prenup. I'm only going to be able to get, and he met somebody else that was meeting the needs that he really needed met. Because you can care about a person, but they not really fulfilling you. And if you meet somebody that's actually fulfilling the needs and wants that you have money or not, again, why they divorced? Because he didn't physically cheat, but he mentally and emotionally cheated on her. And that's worse than physical.
Yeah. And I think here's the thing too, because if you know, listen, this is for the people that know Kandi. If you've been in and up and through and around Atlanta, you already know Kandi, okay? Kandi is a freak. She got a whole candy coated sex toy business. So people who really know her, they already know. Like, that ain't gonna keep no man. Maybe she thought, if I freak this dude out, he ain't going nowhere, this and this and this. That man wanted your attention. He wanted your time. And he wanted the non-intimate things that you weren't giving him. And that's where I feel like that's what happened. You know, if you're gonna get him by being a freak bear, you got to keep him by being a freak too. Simple.
Whatever you
But
start
hey,
doing,
I
you better
wish them
keep
the
doing.
best, man. But I can't wait to hear Mama Joy. I know Mama Joy's ready to talk to somebody, child. She ready. Man, now I might have to watch Real Housewives because I need to see Mama Joyce. I know you coming with it. They filming already. I know it. I want to hear it all.
Nene coming back to the Housewives.
I don't know. Oh, she is. Oh,
Yeah,
child, you
he
know
is, and I can't stand her. Never.
I'm definitely watching now. I love some Nene, baby. Love. All right, let me see what else I got over here. Our next topic, because this is some news and gossip, but it also is part of this topic. So this next topic is, can having a celebrity crush turn disrespectful? Whoo, child. Huh. So I want to say yes and I want to say no because I can see both sides of it, okay? I feel like it turns disrespectful when you get to it, like when you just get way too into it about a celebrity. When you got somebody, like, it gets kind of cringy, you know. I feel like I feel like it shouldn't cause your partner to like not trust you and things like that because you with them. You ain't with this celebrity, you know. So it's like, I ain't going around with you, but I'm going to admire this person. But I feel like you have to do it in a respectful way. So y'all seen the clip with the lady at the Chris Brown concert. Listen, if I'm at a concert and I'm offered to come on stage, I'm gonna have to decline because I already know I'm not holding nothing back. I don't care if it's Chris Brown or Janet Jackson. If Janet Jackson want to tie me up to her little thing on the stage, I'm going. But Chris Brown, nah, I ain't going. But it's just like I could see going on stage, you know, being a part of the set.
So wait,
but you
so tell everybody who may not have. Yeah, tell everybody what happened for those who may not have saw.
Okay, so Chris Brown is doing his concert, and he has a point in the concert where he brings somebody from the audience onto the stage. He's serenading them. They sitting in the chair. Oh, baby, they sitting in the chair, and he just comes all up on them. He like right in their face, and he doing all his stuff thing. And you know he fine. You can't resist no Chris Brown. And all of a sudden, he just went in and kissed this lady. And all of a sudden, the camera was like, bro, wait, is that her husband? So apparently, her husband was right there front row with her at the concert, watching her up on the stage getting serenaded and tongued down by Chris Brown. I would be embarrassed. That I feel like I really want to know what this husband's thoughts was after seeing this play out, and now it's done went viral. Especially if this really is true that woman was married, because you know people do paint narratives, and they'll take something and say, "Oh, she was married." Then you find out that was probably two images they sliced together to make it seem like. You never know. I haven't
or
heard
that
no
was just her friend.
Yeah, I haven't really heard no true confirmation, but if it's true, it's like at what. Like, where do we draw the line when it comes to these celebrity crushes? Because I'm gonna tell you now, I love me some Lorenz Tate. Okay, that's my babe, my boo, my husband. Everybody that know me know I don't have to put a caption. If I reshare him on my page, I already know what it is. What it is. Okay, simple. So it's like, and Donnell Jones, them my two. Okay, them my two. Donnell Jones and Lorenz Tate. And so it's like, but I've never crossed that line. Like, I'm not going to be in a marriage or relationship but saying, oh, I'm in love with this person or I'm in love. Like, no, you got to draw the line somewhere. What y'all think? Do y'all think it's, you know, can it get that disrespectful? Or have you seen it get disrespectful? Or how you are with your celebrity crush? Like, do you be like, somebody go snap that man up?
If you tongue kissing somebody, a celebrity, if you tongue kissing them in front of your partner, if you getting up there. Like I saw a clip one time of a lady, her husband hired her favorite singer to sing at their wedding reception. Baby, she knocked her husband to the ground, ran over there, threw her body on top of the singer, drug her body down to the ground, and was just grinding on him. The husband looked like he was appalled. He looked like, that's too much. Because, lady, that's your husband. Y'all literally just got married and about to be divorced already because you up here acting like a fool about some man that he done had to pay to be here. He don't know you from Adam. He just trying to get his coin, do a decent performance, maybe get a little more business and take it on to the house. She almost molesting that man in front of all their guests, family members, his mama. It just wasn't a good look. And I thought to myself, now this is one time where I say, sir, knock it between the wash and dryer. And I don't go for that. But but I mean, I was like, my God, I know that man was embarrassed. I know that man was embarrassed because he had, you know how somebody looked mortified? He looked mortified, like, I don't believe, and then that he was the one that paid for the man to come. It was his gift to her. I know he said, my God, what was I thinking? Now I look like a fool. So yeah, it can go too far. You need to always be respectful and remember that celebrity, just be respectful to the person who you know they out, they have your back day in and day out, they care for you, that's putting the time, the effort in. Just be respectful. If you be respectful and courteous, to your partner, then I think it'll be fine. Just don't forget where you are,
I think it definitely can. Again, it depends on the person. Some people just don't have no coof, right? Some people don't realize that celebrity could care less about you. And like I said, it's okay to think somebody is fine or cute or pretty or whatever, or get excited. Hence the lady, obviously the husband knew this was her favorite artist, to get excited. But to forget where you are and who you are, that's where the problem comes in at. And I had a relationship where this person loved Nicki Minaj. And at that time, they would have fought you about Nicki Minaj. That was their woman. They had pictures of Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj couldn't. Good night, Jackie. Thank you for coming on. Nicki Minaj couldn't do no wrong. And we used to kind of get in arguments about it. And I believe if they would have ever got in the room with Nicki Minaj, it would have been a situation. For me, it's certain people that I think is fine, but at the end of the day, for me, that person don't know me. I don't know them. It's just what I see. I would love to get a nice hug or something like that, but I'm not going to ruin what I got right next to me for something that's not going to remember me 2 days later. And then, that's where these celebrity stalkers and stuff come in play, right? You got people that really think that they in love with these people that they have never met before. And they literally try to input themselves into their lives, whether they got a partner or not. That's my man, that's my woman. I need to get to them. If you got to climb over somebody's fence and climb through their window to get to them, that ain't your person. You understand? But I mean, yeah, I guess it could go both ways. And sometimes a lot of people do cross over the line. But again, that's just like taking your partner to a strip club. You taking them to a damn strip club. What do you think is going to happen? Or let's talk about this. Oh, I'm going to have a threesome with my partner because that's what he wants. And then you get mad because they paying more attention to that person. Why do you keep going to the barbershop? You're going to get a haircut. You know that ain't going to work. Why you put yourself in that position? And now you mad and hurt. And they looking like, well, you let me do it. So what did you expect me to do? Or you brought me here. How was I supposed to react? So, it goes on both ends. People put themselves in situations where they get their little feelings hurt. And then some people just don't know how to sit their tail down and not overdo it. But as for me, they ain't paying damn bill. I'ma like them from afar, and if I get a chance to be in the same room with them, I'm gonna get me a nice little hug, and I'm gonna keep it moving. But if I'm with my partner, I'm like you, Renee. I'm not even coming up on you because I don't want no accidents to happen. So I see you, brother. Deuces.
Right. And then too, I think a lot of people don't realize, because I've seen situations where the person who has the crush on a celebrity, whether it's a man or a woman, will make their partner feel like you're like they're not good enough and I need you to be like this person. Like you can't do that. Like that's so disrespectful to that person, because it's like, well, dang, if you wanted somebody like your celebrity crush, then you should have just went and found that person. Why am I even here? You know, that type of thing. So it's like we got to be mindful of like how we really take these celebrities, because like Don said, these people don't know us from a can of paint. Like they can care less about you because you in the crowd with a 100 other people. You know how many of y'all like the same person? Sure.
And you just
You
help
know,
them go a little bit more viral. That's it. They sitting at home at
yeah.
night cracking up, talking about look how I was able to kiss that man's woman, and now he look. And you know what I'm saying? Like that, people don't.
Yeah, because then too,
Through.
we got to think some of these celebrities have partners and spouses themselves. You know, because Donnell Jones, well, I don't think he married now, but at one point he had a wife, but women was still wanting that man. Lorenz Tate has been married, I think, 30 something years now? He been married a long time. But, hey, he's still my husband. But I have enough respect that I'm not going to do nothing stupid and crazy or disrespectful because I know this man has a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I feel like there's just lines that you shouldn't cross when it comes to, expressing your love for your celebrity crush. You know, don't be out here looking like no psycho. Some of y'all be looking psycho. Be looking crazy out here. Like, yeah, like I get okay. So Eric Benet was one of my like. I don't feel like I love Eric Benet's music. I'm not gonna say I ever really had like a crush on him. I kind of look more like Eric Benet like a brother because I met him multiple times. I'm a part of his like little true EB fans club and all this stuff. Like I know I've been friends with people that I met through Eric Benet like 10 years or more. And so, but I know some of them are really like Eric Benet crazy. They go to every single concert. When I say every single concert, like I ain't got the time. First of all, I ain't got the time to be going to every single concert. If he come close enough to me, I'ma go if I'm able to go, if I feel like going. But a lot of times they be at every concert, they at everything. Did you see the one lady, Boosie? Y'all know the rapper Boosie, he was going off on Facebook recently because
that lady really got some mental health issues. She got
that was his her husband. She had
I'm talking about how about
it
the
was
one that accused him of SA? Yes.
No. This was happening the same week though. It was another lady that was found Boosie's phone number and had been calling his phone and hanging up. And he had posted the phone number online and said, "Y'all do y'all work and let me know who this is." And they went and found who the lady was. All they did was put her phone number in Cash App, and it came back with her name. And they went to her page. All her whole page is all Boosie. Every post she make is a Boosie post, a share, and she had pictures on there where she was making people think that it was a picture with her and Boosie kissing and hugging and all kind of stuff. It was crazy, stalkerish.
Let me tell you something really quick. I'm not gonna say the celebrity, but I had a client who was in love with this certain celebrity so much that unfortunately, and because they had some mental health issues, they got duped a couple times into thinking they were talking to this celebrity, and they were sending and receiving money. they went to the airport and was like, thought they were going to meet them and they never showed up, thought that they was married to this person. It was crazy. Some people definitely go over the line when it comes to celebrity, especially if they, you know what I'm saying, if there's any mental health issues inside of these situations, that's where it can get dangerous. So, you know, for like the celebrities, you know, it's dangerous for them sometimes because people really think that they be in a relationship with these celebrities. And it can get very dangerous. But for me, if you ain't paying none of my bills, I really ain't going that hard on you. Like I can, even though some of these celebrities, I'd be like, oh, they fine. You know, we have our celebrity crush. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I probably couldn't tell you half of the stuff about that person because I ain't researching nobody. I ain't following nobody. I don't know when their birthdays is. I don't got time for all that because they ain't about to never know who I am and not pay nan bill of mine. So I'm not gonna give them that much energy. So that's just me. But anyway.
And Miss Yvette said that her celebrity crush became a very good friend. And I always say his name wrong. I know his name is Babatunde. Is it what? Oba Babatunde. He the guy, if y'all watch the Temptations movie, he played Barry Gordy in the Temptations movie. And he's been in a lot of different movies too, like but that's what a lot of people know him from, playing Barry Gordy in that movie. And I have that too. Like, if I told y'all the amount of people that I personally know that are actual celebrities, you would probably be like, what? No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, okay, I could pull my phone up and I could pick the phone up and dial their number right now and talk to them. And yeah. So, but you know, that's just one of them things. When you meet somebody and you realize these celebrities are real people, they just like us. They put their pants and their shoes on one at a time like we do. You know, so it's we got to understand that. All right. Yes. Let's see. Y'all ready for that sip and spill? I got some water. Don got some wine. And Miss Sharon done went to sleep.
Oh, Lord.
Wait a minute. Miss Sharon, them people that had you at work all day.
I'm talking hard. I was literally snoring. And I don't snore. I was snoring.
Dawn, you got Dawn laughing so hard. She know where I'm thinking. At first, I thought Miss Sharon was looking down at something. And then I said, wait a minute. No. Miss Sharon know they're asleep.
We need to hurry this along, Renee. We need to hurry up and get up off of here.
Let me get Miss Sharon to bed, child. Oh, Jesus. Let me get Miss Sharon in the bed. All right, let me get this sip and spill letter out of this way. Hold up. And luckily, it's a short letter. All right. It says, Dear 1 Hour Girls Talk.
Get out of here.
I am writing because I'm struggling in my marriage for some and hoping for some advice. Now, this letter is from a man, y'all. We do have men that listen to and watch our show. I need y'all to understand that, okay? It is 1 Hour Girl Talk, but the men be watching. He said, I love my wife more than anything, but TikTok has taken over her life. She is on it constantly from the moment she wake up to right before bed. Even when we're together, she's scrolling, laughing at videos, and barely looks up at me. We barely talk anymore. Our date nights are non-existent, and our intimacy has almost disappeared. I feel invisible in my own home, like I'm competing with an app for my wife's attention. I tried talking to her about it gently, but she gets defensive and says I'm overreacting. I miss my wife. I miss us. This is really starting to damage our marriage, and I don't know what else to do. Any guidance would mean the world. Sincerely, a loving but lonely husband. Man, listen, this story is all too like, this happen all the time. We living in a social media age. Everybody like, and I see it every day. Like, if you go think about this, go certain places, like even in restaurants, when you out eating with your family or somewhere in a restaurant one day, I want you to just take a look around, and this is what you're gonna see. While people waiting for food, while nobody is just sitting there and having a conversation. they're in their phone. What I try to do, and y'all know I'm a social media head, but I'm learning. And what I try to do when I'm with my partner, like if we in the car going somewhere, he driving or I'm driving, I try to like have a conversation. I try to put my phone down. If we watching a movie, I try to not have my phone. I put it on silent. I put it away. And when we doing anything together, I try to make sure my phone is not the distraction. But some people can't do that. They just be so engaged into their phone, they forget that, you know, there's a real world out here. So I feel like he said he already talked to his wife about it. It's like, I don't know, man. Stop paying the internet bill. Look, I don't know.
What you think, Miss
Look,
Sharon?
it's like, yeah, what y'all think? Because it's
I
like,
do know that to be a fact, and y'all know it's true. Y'all know, even like sometimes when you sitting up here at dinner or anything, you look and everybody in the house is literally taking a bite back to their phone, taking a bite back to their phone. So you do have to have times where you just like, okay, no, this is a no phone zone, no type of tablet, no laptop, no computer, no nothing. This is just our time for us to have our time. You're gonna have to do that. It's gonna be, I've always been a person, I don't think a television belongs in the bedroom, because that when y'all go in that bedroom, that need to be y'all time. Y'all can be in there cutting cartwheels, cutting flips, whatever y'all do, but y'all need to be doing it together, because anything that's kind of a distraction needs to be removed, because there needs to be y'all's time. So I feel like that he's definitely gonna have to put his foot down and let her know, hey, close that phone up and pay me some attention, lady. Unless you want me to go on about my business and find myself something to do. Now, I'm not saying every waking moment she got to be, consumed with him. But yeah, she's going to have to put that phone down and give him some attention. That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
And they need to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else going to give him that attention in a minute.
Exactly. So there needs to be a conversation, sir. You need to have a conversation. And you need to tell her and set some boundaries. Let her know how you feel and be serious about it and say, listen, if you continue to do this, I'm not saying he need to tell her he about to go cheat, but say, this is going to affect our relationship in a negative way. So, y'all need to have a conversation or just slap the phone out of her hand. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Just have that conversation. Put it out there on the table. What it is that you want, especially when y'all having that one-on-one time together. Let your wife know. Listen, when I'm spending my time with you, this is what I'm wanting. And once you've let her know that, and you not seeing that happen, then that's when you really want to look at it as being really a serious issue. Like, I'm not saying divorce your wife because of TikTok, but it really needs to, like, maybe some people get social media addictions. That doom scrolling is real. Sometimes you start scrolling and you start swiping. Next thing you know, 3 hours done went by, and you're like, dang, I didn't even know it was 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I say, like Don said, have the conversation and see what changes, for sure. All right, let's see what else we got before we let Miss Sharon go to sleep. Oh yeah, this gonna wake Miss Sharon up right here, baby.
Come on, Miss Sharon, get your glass, girl. It's that time. It's that time.
Let me wake Miss Sharon up real quick. Hold on. Let me get it up here. I gotta wake everybody up a little bit. Oh baby. Yes, all that little chocolate right there, baby.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yes. That is Lorenz Tate, baby.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Look at them. Look, that's like an 8-10 pack. I can't even count all them abs, child. Sure. Yes, honey. This is none other than the actor, Mr. Lorenz Tate. He has been out a long time. He has been acting since his, like, I don't even know how old he was. He had to be like 18, 19, 20 when he started acting.
Yeah, he was young.
He was very young. He might have been younger than that. He might have been, because I remember he was the first movie I ever remember seeing Lorenz Tate in was The Inkwell. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was a movie with him and Jada Pinkett.
He made his debut in, y'all remember The Women of Brewster Place?
Oh, yes. Right. He was the little boy.
Am I stupid, mama? Yeah, that was his acting debut.
He was. Yep, you're right. He was in Women of Brewster Place. So if you never watched The Women of Brewster Place, that's a good movie. That movie low-key traumatized me as a kid because I watched it as a kid. And after I watched that movie, baby, I wasn't plugging nothing in the socket. You want me to plug what where? I ain't doing that. No. But no, so yeah, you're right. But my first remembrance of him was in Inkwell. And then, he was in Minister Society. My favorite movie of Lorenz Tate of all time is Dead Presidents. Because I don't know what it was about that man in that movie, but he was so doggone fine. And the way he kind of roughed old girl up a little bit up against the wall, smushed her afro up against the wall. It was a little sexy. I was like, wait a minute, this is abusive, but I like it. Denise said that her favorite movie of him is Love Jones.
It's abusive, but I like it.
But no, I did like him in Love Jones too. Love Jones, he was really good.
Now, y'all know everybody like it a little rough sometimes. Now, don't break my arm now. Don't send me to the emergency.
Don't make me do a little grippage is okay. A little grippage, just make sure I can still breathe.
Don't dislocate the shoulder blade now, but yeah, a little rough sometimes is hi.
Hey, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
But yeah, it's so fun. But what's the other movie? Oh, and if y'all haven't watched the 50 Cent show Power, he had a nice lengthy character in that where he was he played actually his last name Tate, Congressman or Senator Tate. He had a couple of different head of name because he was running in for politics and stuff in that show. So he had a role in that. He's just done a lot of different things, and his brother also is an actor too. A lot of people used to get him and his brother confused because they kind of look alike. But yeah,
and his brother named Larange or it's three of them: Larange, Lorenz, and it's all of them with an L.
Yeah, it's three of them, and they all look alike.
All three of them
got that same little look to them, like
and all of them short.
Yeah, all on short. I don't care how short he be. I'll take him.
Oh no, girls! You said you don't want nobody that you got to look down on.
Remember,
wait, Miss Sharon, this the second man that she just said she don't care how short he is.
Who was the other short man? I thought Lorenz Tate.
No, it was another one that we was talking, or wasn't Lorenz Tate?
No, it was Lorenz Tate. I said Lorenz Tate is my exception to short men. He the only short man that I would
accept. You said I do not. I can't stand no short men. You said, but Lorenz Tate, that is my exception, though. Because I said Lorenz Tate short.
He's short. Let me see how tall is Lorenz Tate. He got to be like 5'7" or 5'8".
No, he's like 5'4". He's short.
Yeah, he's short. He's very short.
Yeah, he's short.
We finna find out. He 5'9", so he actually is a little. He 5'9", so he's taller than me.
You know them celebrities. They bet celebrities, basketball players, football players. They lie about their height. That man will fit in your pocket.
That man. Well, guess what? He can fit in my front and my back pocket, baby. Hey. Let me stop. All right. So we got one more thing I want to mention, and then we out of here. So, new music alert. I have a really, really good friend who has some new music. Now, I know usually I be highlighting women music, but this is one of my male friends, and he came out with some new music, a new album. The artist name is I'm about to butcher this. I'm about to butcher the heck out of it. Kova Nore. No, I know I'm about to butcher it.
Girl, you better put that in the chat.
Norier. Kova Norier.
Put it in the chat.
Kova. I wrote it out so I could say the last name the right way.
Kova Norier. So
K-O-V. Okay, yes, ma'am. It is Kovanoir. Kova Norier.
Oh, it's two separate words. See, I was trying to spell it together.
You know I'm country. And he just had a new album that came out called I've been hearing, like, I always get the sneak peek, so I've been hearing all the songs and things like that, you know. But some really good music. Go and listen to it. There's songs like Shattered Dreams, Lose Control, and it sounds so good. Like, I'm trying to think how to explain this. Like, old school R&B. And when I say old school, I'm thinking like early 2000s kind of R&B. It's like storytelling. Like, you're not going to just listen to it. You're not going to listen to it and be trying to figure out, like, well, what is he really singing about? No, when you hear the song, like, he's got a song that he let me listen to the other day called, let me see, I'm going to tell you exactly what it's called, because he sent it to me the other day to listen to. And that song is called Prettiest Girl. And it's telling a story. Like, it's really like telling you why is this girl pretty? Why she made, you know, it's giving you a whole little story. So yeah, make sure y'all check out this artist. All right, now Miss Sharon, you can go to bed.
Okay, I was vibing to his song Tripping.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, and as soon as this live in, I'm clipping that section of the live.
Oh yeah, we got you, Miss Sharon. We telling you right now. It's gonna go viral, so prepare yourself. It's going on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. But we love you, though. We love you, girl.
We love you, Miss Sharon.
I mean, as soon as you said, Miss Sharon, you sleep, I knew it because I could hear myself snoring. I said, and I don't snore that, but I am literally so tired. You know how somebody say they dead on their feet? Yeah. Bad shit.
Working hard.
She said it. I'm like, oh, she is.
Look, you've been working all day. Dawn been on Zooms all day. I've been doing stuff over here all day. So we be pushing through though. I commend y'all, man.
Before I say this, Renee, is that your mother?
Huh?
Virgin? Is that
that's Nana. Yeah, that's Nana.
Mama Ruth. I just wanted to make sure, because last time you cussed me out, it wasn't your father. Hi, Nana Ruth.
Right, because you thought that was my dad, and don't be putting people on me talking about your dad. That wasn't my dad.
Hi, that's me. All right, y'all. Yeah. We thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. We appreciate you, Miss Sharon. Going to get you some sleep, girl. Miss Lady Bird, go do what you gotta do, and I'm gonna be up off of here too. We love y'all.
We love y'all. Yes. Good night.
Good night.